and good brunch news. And welcome to our brunch.
Back together again.
Back together, and we got you back, Shar.
Okay.
Char's back, but Ja's gone.
Yeah, where is she going?
She's gone.
She's on a seminar. She's not gone. Carl, don't get too excited.
Dang.
So they say.
Yeah, she's doing some financial education on a tour for the next 30 days.
So we get a vacation from her. Yes, we get a vacation.
Replace her
Yes.
while
Okay.
she's out. But
My grandma said.
Interesting.
you love when she said that about her grandma, don't you?
Don't
What
fuck
did
with
Grandma
them.
say?
Don't fuck with them black bitches.
You doing
Oh,
the
my.
most.
Yes,
But
if
you
you
know
watched
what?
the last episode, I know you know.
Like, y'all she be working it.
But you know what, guys? It's interesting because it's disrespectful, right? In
Yeah,
the sense
it is.
of don't fuck with these black bitches.
Yeah,
and
it's too much.
and I say that because I experienced recently. I was at a girlfriend's house and her son was there or whatever with his girlfriend, and it was so disrespectful to see how he talked to her,
Wow.
to see how he treated her. And I got to thinking, like, why is it? And I see this often in our community.
Right,
That
right.
black men that are raised by single black women disrespect black women.
Oh, for
Why
sure.
is that?
Okay.
For sure.
Why is that?
Well, when we say disrespect, we have to kind of define what we mean by disrespect.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just relegated to single black women. I got to say that. Because we out here, my mother was a single black female raising 3 children and a son. So when we say disrespect, is it just talking to her any kind of way? Like,
It's
what
talking
would
to
you
her,
say?
it's cursing at her.
Okay.
Cheating on
It's-
her.
Well, I don't know, their personal business, but it took you there.
I mean,
It
just in
took you there,
general.
like, yeah.
Just in general. I mean, when you think about, when you say, like, why are black men so disrespectful towards black women, I think it's all encompassing of everything, right? Why do they cheat? Why do they lie, right?
But
Putting-
don't all men do that. So I just put that. I mean,
Wait,
Not all men
I
cheat.
mean,
All black men cheat.
A good portion of them do.
let me just, so let's not categorize just all black men.
No, I'm not saying all.
But I
I'm
know
saying
what you
a good
mean. I mean,
portion, right? For the relevance of our topic, right? Disrespectful men,
Disrespectful
black
men.
in
And we're
I
talking
would
about
say
our
in
culture,
relationships,
so black men.
in our culture, right? I think we define that disrespect as not only talking to her reckless, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But also not helping her to raise a child that you created.
That's right.
That's true.
Sometimes
Right.
That
physical
is true.
abuse,
Physical abuse,
mental,
not telling her the
emotional
truth,
abuse,
selling
for
her a
sure.
dream, right? Of that, you know, you guys will live happily ever after and not necessarily committing to that. I
Yeah.
think it's all encompassing of everything, right? It's not just talking to somebody reckless. In your case, right, that you experienced,
It was
Friends
the
talking
talking
to
reckless.
It's talking
Yeah,
reckless,
it was,
right?
But I have to say, I have to play devil's advocate. And the
Okay.
reason why is because I do also witness, as single black women, we do a little too much in front of the black man.
Yeah.
We
And when
do
I
too
say,
much coddling too.
we
for
do
men,
too much
period, as a
cuddling.
woman,
We
when you
do.
raise
we
your
have
son.
too many
Y'all do.
men
Right.
around them, and so
Right.
they're struggling to know their place, in the household, but
Yeah.
also in your life. Because if all I do is see you bring in different
Men in the household.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna disrespect.
Then
I think it
where's
comes-
the respect? Where's the self-respect?
Right. But do we even teach them to respect themselves? That used to be the reason why we would have that masculinity
Yeah.
in the home, because they need an example. They need to understand, who do I, hold myself to a
Yeah.
certain level of esteem to.
Yeah.
Somebody showed me how to be a man in this society today.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think too many women, period, whether it's black women, any minority or majority,
Yeah.
we coddle these men too much, and we don't prepare them to be able to go out into society
Yeah.
True.
and operate in a certain way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's where that disrespect comes from, because you don't really even teach them how to bridle a lot of that energy
Yeah.
in a lot of cases to be respectful
Yeah.
of people, period.
Well,
I
you
think
could tell the great granddaddy wasn't in the house. 'Cause
Right.
my great granddaddy wasn't having it.
No, he wasn't.
yeah, but you know what? I also think, when kind of going back to your
Granddaddy, everybody, that's the problem too.
going back to something that you said, I think as a single black mother, they're so busy trying to,
to raise,
to raise,
kids, to take care
provide.
of the
That's
they're doing
hard, right? When you're
They're
doing everything is on your shoulders by yourself, right? Sometimes you neglect the opportunity to say, You know, this is how you should treat your wife or your girlfriend, right? This is how
But
you be
who taught
respectful.
them how to do that, Carl? Because most of us
It's the
are
environment.
1 or 2
True.
generations too.
It's the
where
environment.
you did not
Have
have a
that.
man that
Yeah.
was in your life
True.
to teach you how to be respectful.
But I think it's also
I
about the
agree.
environment, right?
I
So
do.
when you have a young, impressionable child, they see what their friends are doing, what their maybe older siblings are
like
doing, what's
Shar
on
said,
TV,
bringing people in the
yeah.
house.
bringing people in the
Mama
house.
trying to live. She got
Yeah.
a life too. You
Yeah.
know, just because this man moved on. I told my mother that when she was a single mother, I said, look, maybe if my father wasn't there, I still needed a man role model in the
your
house.
life. Yeah.
And so now you have to be very particular about who you choose to bring into your house. And when you're not even taught in those particular situations of, am I looking for somebody that will hold me in high esteem? Am I looking for somebody that will provide for me and my children that are not the children that we bore together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another
That's
dynamic.
another
Raise
dynamic.
other men's
That's
kids,
another
and then
one.
they come in and be disrespectful
Respectful.
even
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
But you have
love
children
them.
raising
Yeah.
children, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: there's no rule book to how to raise a child,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that a lot of parents lead with what's the best way for me to to raise this child, right?
Right.
It's just, you know what, this is what I have. You know, this is what's kind of the tools that I have in front of me,
Yeah.
and I got to do the best I got to do.
But
And
also, we
sometimes
have
that's not the
to, as
best.
Black women, we have to respect the position of our sons that are in our household. Because at the end of the day, if you're having a conversation or you're messing with some man, and this is actual facts, right? Well, if you're messing with some man and he's not respecting you in front of the
Period.
child,
That's it in and of itself. And
You're
I'm
teaching
glad
You
your
need to check that
son-
shit.
You need to check it.
exactly,
You need to check
exactly,
it.
You need to check
exactly
it.
how to treat you.
Right.
And that's the other part of it, because if we just flip it on its head, is it not just them
about what you allow.
disrespecting 100%
Exactly.
as women and as young girls?
Mm-hmm.
Because mothers now are raising their daughters to be more masculine, to be out
That's
here and
true.
take care and provide for themselves.
Selves.
And there
Yeah.
comes a certain level of energy along with that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But are you teaching her to respect herself, that when she comes up upon a man that's disrespecting her, to say, I'm not taking this shit.
Or anybody
Or
in general.
anyone.
Period.
Anybody in
Anybody
general, right?
What
You
Maya
have to
Angelou
teach
said.
people how to treat you.
There you go.
And so in those particular cases, it goes both ways, because women are teaching their daughters to have to be able to live a life, because she knows what that feels like. She wants to prepare her for that disappointment in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And in order to prepare for that disappointment, I reduce my standards.
Ooh,
And now,
that's deep.
Let's
now
talk about that.
I'm gonna take things
That's
that
another
that I
topic.
probably we hear
It
me?
is.
Yeah.
I'm reducing my standards,
Yeah.
but we'll look
Yeah.
at that and say he being disrespectful.
Respectful.
Yeah. Or he's really good in this area, so I'll
I'm gonna tolerate it.
some other things that he does. And it's no. It should be, if you're presenting 100% of yourself, somebody should be giving you 100% of them.
Yeah.
And part of it is not allowing somebody to provide and disrespect you at the same time.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is. And I also think that a lot of Black women are very forgiving.
You
Right.
feel like
Baby,
we
they don't
forgive
stand their
or not?
ground.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of women don't. A lot of women just
Yeah.
tolerate what a man
Yeah.
gives them. And there's so many different
I think
avenues
that-
and different definitions of respect.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And again, everybody's definition of respect is completely different.
Right.
But the
there
bare
is
minimum.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about what that
what,
looks
what
like.
is the
What is
respect? Do to me as I do to you. Okay? That's
Against
respect to
your
me.
ass.
There's some bras out there reckless, so these men
Yeah.
have a
Treat
reason.
me as I treat you.
Yeah.
The golden rule.
you
That's
individually.
what
Because here's the
respect
thing,
is.
if the
Awesome
shoe is on
women
the
out
other
here
foot,
ready to
if the shoe is on the other, if a woman did it to a man, I can guarantee you it would be something completely different. If a woman talked to a man in front of his friends reckless, right,
Now there are
belittled
some
him,
women out there that'll do it now.
Yeah.
I don't think they won't.
they won't,
I mean,
but it's far and few.
okay.
It's far and few.
Yeah.
I think, especially when we talk about relationships, I think that a lot of women are tolerant of certain behaviors of men.
Because they want a man.
Because they want a man. They want somebody to keep them
Yeah.
warm at
And
night.
Yeah.
I think we all want
We
that
all want,
companionship.
yeah, we all need it.
But at what
People say
price?
we don't. It's a matter of want and need.
Yeah.
But I really
But at what
believe
price?
it's a matter of need. There is that balance of the masculine and feminine where you have to be able to create these synergies where you can exist together.
Yeah.
But the roles have been so reversed, and society has put that on us, that now when you are even in a relationship, sometimes like that's the whole angry Black man, angry Black woman type of dichotomy too that we deal with. Because like Carl
And that's
says,
another topic
That's
for another day.
another one. Because like Carl says, we always have to subdue ourselves a little bit to exist.
Yeah.
To exist.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
absolutely
Exactly.
true.
Sometimes you have to dim your light
Yeah.
in order to just exist in certain spaces, and you shouldn't have to do that
I'm not
in a
dimming
relationship.
my light. You gonna respect me.
Period.
Period.
Period. You
Or
have
you
to
gonna
teach.
get smacked.
Exactly. Or your
One
ass
of
gonna
the
be
two.
by yourself.
Period.
Well, and that's the decision that has to be made.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, respect is given because respect is earned.
That's right.
And that's where you just say, you treat me the way I treat you, and then we respect each other.
Or,
but you got to set expectations.
Or this is how I live, right? I like that quote about, you treat me how I treat you.
Yeah.
But it's also about treat me how I want to be treated.
Right.
That's the most important. How I want to be treated is with respect. How I want to be treated is you talk to me as an adult. You have effective communication. You don't put your hands on me. You don't lie to me. You don't sell me a dream. You don't cheat on me, right? I don't do those things to you. Don't do them to me.
Yeah.
But again, this is my standard. This is my list of things of respect, my expectations.
But do we alter those standards at times?
For sure.
For the
Again,
sake
to
of
be
the
with
other
somebody.
person.
All
And
the
see,
time.
Now
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And
they're
the
used
problem.
to that.
And
A
they're
lot
used
of
to
men
that.
are used to
because they've
being in
seen
relationships.
it in the single mother
Exactly.
home.
My mother
And so they're
tolerated it,
used
so
to
it should
that.
be okay. And it's not okay.
So what's the conclusion of respect for you guys?
Stop
I
it.
said
I'm
what
going to say
mine
something
was.
wrong.
Go
Ooh,
ahead. Go ahead.
Jesus.
Say it.
No,
Say it.
I was almost John today. Stop letting these niggas treat y'all any kind of way. That's my advice.
I agree, but how do we empower people to understand that you do and can set expectations in a relationship and don't have to worry about that person sometimes
You should
leaving
never
you or
compromise
abandoning
your
you.
values and morals
I
to
know,
be
but
in a
do
relationship.
we even have them? Who established that for you in your in your life? Because it goes back to the root of where it started.
But here's what I tell you.
Who established that for you in your life that you have these beliefs and foundations?
I get that, right? But at the end of the day, at this point, we're talking about adults, and every single adult is responsible, right, to get the help that they need to maneuver through life. So at the end of the day, regardless of what has happened in your past, how your mother raised you, what didn't happen in your household, you are truly responsible for how you are living your life as an adult. So that means that you're responsible to get yourself help. You're responsible for how you treat people, right? So at the end of the day, it's on you.
But that has to be turned back into personal growth.
It does.
Correct.
We
It
have
is
Everybody
to
needs to have
evaluate
personal growth.
ourselves and say, okay,
Yeah.
how am I being treated? Because then there has to be some therapy that we do on our own. And that's
Yeah.
another 4-letter word in our community, which is therapy.
Yeah.
Because in some cases we look at it as a little bit of weakness. Like, I don't need anybody to help me because I have to be strong to figure it out.
I agree.
That's just innately who we are.
No, honey.
But there has to be this standard where you see how you're being treated and you know you're not going to compromise some of those foundational beliefs. And the belief is do unto others what you would have them do unto you.
Yes.
But some of it just holistically, you don't have it. You won't take on anybody's baggage when it's abusive.
But we got to take yours.
And your spirit tells you and your heart tells you, is this the right relationship I should be in?
Yeah.
You get that gut, honey.
But
God
listen,
snatch you through
we
that
talked
gut,
about it
child.
before. Do we
We
stay
do.
in relationships longer than what we should?
We do.
And a lot
We
of
do.
times
We
the
do.
answer is yes.
We do.
Because of
the
expectations.
expectation.
Because
It's
of
hope
expectations.
also.
Yep, there's hope.
It's
It's
hope.
always
Oh,
hope.
they're going to change. They will change. Maybe if I
Been there, done
expose
that.
them to this, it'll be better.
Yep.
No, honey, because it goes back to what you said. They have to do some self-evaluation and realize that they have to work on some demons of their own.
And the person that is on the opposite end needs to have self-love and self-worth to say, you know what, enough is enough. Or, hey, you know what, I can't do that. I can't tolerate that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I think we're in this together too because people walk into relationships wanting to be loved.
Of
They
course.
walk in wanting to be respected. It's just at those times where there's this discord or disagreement, and that discord is designed to help you evaluate, is this important to me or is it not?
Right. And do you love yourself enough to say no?
But can I love myself enough too to say, okay, this is something maybe I need to work on.
Yep.
Right.
And I also need to make sure that this person that I'm dealing with, they understand what this means to me at the end of the day. And now we set expectations because you can grow from a level of disrespect to respect with just basic little things that you can do on a daily basis. Don't raise your voice. Don't raise your voice.
Effective communication.
Yeah.
You and I can talk like adults without us raising our voice at one another.
And don't
or
overtalk
cursing.
me.
And don't exactly.
Me. And we do that because we love to be like, hey, I got something to say.
Let me get my point in.
Right. And that's just natural human nature.
Yeah.
Right? But the most important thing is effective communication. It's allowing someone else to be able to share their opinion, their perspective on something. You receive it, you give it back, right? And then you also don't have to curse, you don't have to raise your voice to your point.
And don't take it so personal.
And don't take it personal.
Yeah.
And also
take it
don't
so
devalue
personal.
what I'm saying. Because I think a lot of times in relationships, people devalue what someone else has to say.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Especially when they feel like they have a more dominant
and
role in a
all
relationship.
come from such different backgrounds that we don't know how we were raised in our household and what things were established because we just want to survive.
True.
We want to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
We want to live our own position. And then when somebody comes in and gives us a different perspective of how we might look at it, we get on defense.
That's true.
And
human nature.
That's true.
I think the disrespect starts then. In order for us to work to respect, we got to start bringing our defenses down.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
We got to start bringing our defenses down and start trusting each other.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Well, that was good.
I like that.
I love
Good
that.
came to it.
Good one.
Love the conversation. If you loved it, take it back to your peach brunch. Until we see you again, we'll continue this at our table. You take it back to yours. Thank you. See you again.